What's going on, everyone? We have some videos to make here. This is not going to be about what just happened with the Xbox layoffs. I'll be having that up in the morning. But what I want to do is reply to Dustin's tweet because he's right, and a lot of people were attacking him back then. And, I give credit where it's due. And then I see him post something today, and then they're still trying to come in and make excuses because this is what fanboys do. You're seeing the highest level of bootlicking today. Trust me. And it's the worst. Every bad decision or mistake he said Xbox makes, I would say Microsoft at this point, has been blamed on buying Activision. Okay, so here's my thing. Like, to him, he thinks this is the worst mistake they have made lately, and this is causing a lot of things. And in a sense, he's right, because it does lead to all those layoffs through all those different companies. And of course, Activision was trashed to begin with, even before that with Kotick, but at least they were better off that way than what they are now. As much as I hate to say it, but it's all bad, honestly. You know what I mean? So Microsoft wasn't no white horse because they didn't make anything better. I remember them saying, too, we may release Call of Duty every 2 years now, make it a higher quality. You know what I mean? Do all this, like, we did none of that shit. I don't think you can simply blame a merger Activision and their employees voted for, especially when the entire industry has actively been gutted for the last 3 years. The buck stops with leadership. Well, I've said this before. The leadership is incredibly weak. People are loving it. We're about to put this up again. Yeah, let's take a look at it. Microsoft and Sony need to take notes from Nintendo on how to run a company in gaming and be a family. Guess what? People are loving this shit. Yeah, because it's true. They have a 98% staff, including 78 with disabilities. No reported layoffs. It's a family. So if Activision had been a healthy company, the same wouldn't even been necessary. Dude, shut up. Okay, so call them out, make a video about how specific leadership choices with names and facts have caused this Mr. Journalist start with Phil Spencer and Nadalia. Very true. You know what I mean? And so here's my thing with Dustin. It's like, when you got Activision, you know how many people were excited because they thought it was going to bring something powerful. But it's the same thing that's there. I haven't seen any new revitalizing or any of that. Tony Hawk, I mean, that was already going to come out. They already did 1 and 2 before they even did that. I haven't seen anything new or creative happen. And we're going to get into a video of what Destin is talking about. And there's a lot to talk about here because it gets interesting. Because honestly, I told people before, I think the Activision monopoly, to me, is pointless for me because I will never play Call of Duty and I will not buy it. What am I getting out of that? Other than that, yeah, it's not interesting. Everything else has already been there. You know what I mean? And it's been out on other platforms. So yeah, when Dustin says that, he makes a lot of sense, and we have it right here because this goes back to the article where he says Microsoft buying Activision was pointless to a certain extent. Now, I think it's good for third-party vanity, but outside of that, yeah, they're not doing anything to make that company better since then. They're just laying off more. So let's get into this.
This video might come off a little bit entitled. And the reason I say that is because I do not really understand what the point of Xbox buying Activision was if they're not going to go hard and actually do some interesting things with the merger.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, 10% of Candy Crush devs just got cut, 50% at, Are you ready to hear that? Yeah, turn 10. Yeah, you've heard that. Raven Software, all of them, they're getting hit. You know what I mean?
When it happened, I was excited about the potential savings I could be seeing by having access to all the new Activision games on Xbox Game Pass, or just see how Microsoft would shake things up, and the potential for old games to make their way onto the service. That was cool. Or see some kind of revitalization of interest in Xbox services. That was intriguing. But now that we're headed into year 2 since closure, I gotta ask Microsoft directly, what exactly was the point of buying this company if you're not going to do jack squat with it?
They want to take in that idle vanity.
To be fair, today Xbox gamers on any platform have seen little to no benefit from this merger, except for the fact that Diablo 4 came to Game Pass, as well as one bad call.
Yeah, and that went down a sinkhole. Nobody cares about that game. 3 was way better. 2 was better. I mean, Path of Exile is better, and so is all those other games. So Diablo's overrated now. It's not.
Call of Duty, and one really good Call of Duty. We got Spyro, we got Crash. Recently, StarCraft 1 and 2 also made their way onto the service, but there's little to no promotion or fanfare. And yeah, they announced the Tony Hawk game, but let's be honest, that was probably already
on the way.
It's good, but the potential has been completely wasted by Xbox, in my opinion. There is so much more they could be doing. What's with the piecemeal service? Are you really making so much bank on Prototype 1 and 2, which I still have my original disc copy of, and the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare from 2007, and Singularity, that you couldn't even imagine making some sort of big announcement about rolling out the amazing Activision library in some fashion on your service? Let's pop in my Prototype disc and see what happens when I put it in the console, shall we? Okay, so we're putting it in. This is my official disc for Prototype
I love
on
that
the
game.
Xbox. Let's see what it says. Take your time. Here we go. Sorry, this game isn't playable here. You're telling me you published this game. You are currently selling it for $9, regularly $20, and you can't even make it backwards compatible on the console. Are you really making that much money from the game? You're telling me that you're making so much bank on your library, like Call of Duty World at War, that it makes more.
I think they recently released some Call of Duty recently, so I know what he's talking about. All right, so let's go over a little bit. Let's go to the next
2007 Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Okay.
Which you have listed for some ridiculous amount of money. Activision has an amazing library of games, and I think Xbox has completely screwed the pooch when it comes to utilizing this purchase to get people excited about anything they're doing with the Activision brand. World of Warcraft.
No, he's right. I mean, when I think about Activision, I don't care. I kind of feel like it's pointless. Like, what's the point? It's not, he's right. The benefit showing in front of me right now, I don't see it. It's everything else. But I told you they use that to boost their vanity. And to have strong publishing in the future, at least when that drops, they'll be able to take those publishing rights, obviously. But like he's saying, yeah, I know there's more damage being done because that was automatically happening without them even coming to buy them or not. They would have just been fine. They still would have made, that money.
Is another franchise. Let's talk about it. You've done nothing with it. There's no Xbox incentive to playing it. It's clear the dream of including it on Xbox Game Pass or bringing it to console isn't going to happen, even though it has.
No, he's right. I mean, they haven't said anything. No, what he's saying actually makes sense if you think about it. Guys, if you wake up every day and look at Activision, what has he done or Phil or any of them have done to make sure the Activision merger is blowing your mind and it's giving them massive benefits? It ain't doing anything. Hardly. And they went flat after that month Black Ops 6 had launched. Seemed like it was, but then, yeah, because most people that have Call of Duty are buying it. They're not going to sit there and pay a subscription fee all year to play one game. Doesn't make any sense. And the point of Activision mainly is Call of Duty. That's why I say that, yeah, I mean, they're not giving you remakes of like a whole bunch of old IPs that you've never heard of before. They're kind of sitting there like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, all that type of stuff. No, it's not happening.
Native controller support, and it would bolster what has largely been a flat growth community for the last 5 years.
Even more flat now.
Coming to Game Pass, or if that's too much, maybe just adding a special mount or something for players could actually garner new player interest for a game that is very new player friendly right now. I know because even I played the last expansion.
Well, it's worse now, Destin, since we're fast forwarding a little bit. A lot of people are saying terrible things about the latest expansion that just recently came out.
It's accessible.
But yeah.
So do something with it.
It is, because Square outdid them a long time ago with Final Fantasy 14, putting the controller on it, but they've been doing it. So have other MMOs.
What is happening? Bring it to PS5. I don't care. Bring it to the Xbox consoles. Put it on a fridge. How can Path of Exile 2 come along and support everything, but you still insist on keeping World of Warcraft locked onto the PC behind a subscription?
See, what he's saying is that they don't give a shit about you two on the consoles because they're not doing these type of things for you. It's like they don't care. It's not good. He's right.
It doesn't make sense. Hell, even StarCraft made it to the Nintendo 64 at some point.
Yeah.
You know what? Just put it on Game Pass for a month. Hey, if you have Game Pass, we'll give you 1 month of World of Warcraft. See what happens.
It doesn't hurt to try things like that. He's right. They haven't done any of that.
And while you're watching me do that, consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell to know when my content goes live. I get a little bit closer to getting over my cold for every subscriber. And don't get me started about the legacy library. I popped in my physical copy of the original prototype here live, and guess what? It's not on the backwards compatible list. But guess what? I can still buy it at the store for $9.89 because it was on sale for a few days, regular.
Well, yeah, that's the digital push that they're doing. You know what I mean? You know, like where Microsoft's at now, they're not going to think about reserving something like that. It's not going to happen. And since they're not going to get the Activision deal and preserve it like that, then yeah, you know, I understand what he's saying because he's looking for aggressive behavior instantly, but it's not going to happen like that.
$20. Oh, sorry, I had to do a pickup here. $30. Singularity is another gem developed by Raven Software and published by Activision. You
Who just got some more cuts as well.
own both these companies. This game holds a fond place in many of our hearts, and yet I can't even buy it on the Xbox Series X. You own it. Can you not at the very least put it on the backwards compatible catalog? Or do you need to call the lawyers you employ at Raven and then have a conference call with the lawyers you employ at Activision so they can talk to the lawyers you employ at Xbox to see if you can publish the game you now are the owner of on your own platform? Oh, my mistake. You don't have this on Xbox at all, but you have it. You have this 2010 classic for sale exclusively on the Microsoft Store and Steam for $29.99. I'm sure the 16 people playing and the $24,000 you've made on Steam, well, that's the revenue number over 13.8 years. That probably really pushed the envelope. Look, all I'm saying is this is an easy win and you're squandering it. So is Prototype, which had a whopping 92 peak players today, which represents about $1,840 in revenue. You have an opportunity to do interesting things whenever you want with the Activision franchises, and you're doing nothing.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I like the Crash thing and whatever, but that stuff's already out. And you know what I mean? You could get it on sale for like, you know, $15, $20. I've seen it multiple platforms. As far as like them getting it, yeah, what does that do for Xbox players? Jack. Because you were already buying Call of Duty if you want to buy it. A one-time fee. You're not going to pay for Game Pass to play Call of Duty. You wasted money then. That's not the point. So it comes down to what Destin is saying. What is your point for the gamers? You know what I mean? And what have you done to show us any of those revitalizations? You know what I mean? This has been stuff that would have happened whether you bought them or not. And he has a lot of good points here. So this video definitely is highlighting some things between Microsoft and the Activision deal. Because I know all gamers too sitting over there watching this right now, you would have wanted something very powerful for that. You probably thought it was going to be an exclusive for COD coming on to push something, but you literally got no power out of this. The only thing that you got out of this is Microsoft basically trying to make their fiscal results look a little bit better. Other than that, it's kind of the same thing that they were just doing when Kotick was there, and they're just kind of letting it continue. But they haven't done anything to say, yeah, since we've joined Microsoft, things have gotten so much better. We're so much happier. I mean, I don't hear nobody saying any of that. All I see is just bullcrap layoffs, and it's terrible. And so you bought them to do that. You stripped it down. But are you going to make anything better, Microsoft? This is the thing. Like, I would like to see that, but I haven't seen it either. I agree 100% with what he said. And some people just got an apology because they were attacking him over this too. He was just being seriously concerned and asking serious questions because he cares. He just come in here and just be a bootlicker and be blind.
I don't understand how you can spend $70 billion on buying this company and then squander the plethora of opportunities you have with these beloved games and franchises. Yeah. It feels like you've had this limp-wristed approach to putting games on Game Pass or making any sort of big announcement about titles that are being included. Off the top of my head, I can remember the Diablo 4 announcement like it was yesterday. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
But StarCraft? Little to no fanfare there. I don't care if you hate all my ideas. You're smart people. Come up with something. Doing a social media post about StarCraft coming into the service isn't cutting it. What is the holdup here? Make some.
No, but this is what they do. It's the same thing with Xbox PC app. You know, this is like, we already had this on PC. The years have already passed. The glory days are gone. Why are you showing PC players you're going to get them StarCraft? If they wanted it, they would have bought it. They already have it. It's pointless. You're supposed to be benefiting your console, but they don't. They do the exact opposite. They leave you in the dust, and they try to do things where it's like, what? Dude, this ain't doing anything for us. You know what I mean? And that's what I say about, like, just morons to me sometimes, because it's like, why are you doing this? You're not making any sense whatsoever.
Moves already. Based on how you're doing, it sure seems like you got nothing to lose.
You know, the acquisition of Activision Blizzard changed things, I think, I know at Microsoft.
Go for it. Do something. Do anything. Because if your whole approach was this limp-wristed attempt to get gamers interested by putting a game here or there on Game Pass with little to no promotion, then I don't know what the heck your game plan is. And I certainly don't know what the hell the point was in acquiring the company. Because all I've seen to date is console sales decline and fewer incentives to be an Xbox fan, as you have been very clear that you're porting everything to PlayStation anyway.
We are finding that our games shipping on multiple platforms is a good thing for Xbox.
Take the first 5 Call of Duty games, put them on Game Pass for a month, see what happens. Incentivize people to play.
This is fake because it makes too much sense. That's pretty funny. If you guys see that at the bottom here, let me get off the screen for you. I know what he means. As I said, you're not giving your base any sense of sort of power. Like, you could play around with stuff like that, but they don't do it.
Of Warcraft for
They don't know what they're doing.
just fun. Give them a free month. You got nothing to lose.
Really do have all that money, record-breaking profit. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. This video was about giving Destin his respect that he deserves, and just calling out some nonsense. Now, we got the layoff video around the corner. There's a lot of stuff to talk about with that, but I have to do this right. Obviously, like I said, this stuff has to be covered, so I can't release all the videos I want to release today. I still got like 3 or 4 more I gotta like get ready. There's a lot here that's coming out. There's so much to talk about. So yeah, look out for more stuff. All right, y'all. Peace out. Have a great day. Later.